Hello?
Hey, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's good, bro? You ready for this Founders Day episode, bro?
Yeah, you know I'm ready.
Hey, man, that's good. You said you outside?
Yeah, I'm outside.
All right, I'm about to get you right now.
All right.
Bryce, what's up, man?
What's up, man? You straight, bro? What's up with you, bro?
Good,
What's up with Hey! My boy, Neos. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is episode 7. Episode 7 of Homeroom. Thank y'all for joining us. I'm Bryce.
I'm Nam.
I'm DINERO.
Our special guest. Can you say a little loud? I don't think I heard you.
I'm DINERO, Demari Starks, also known as DINERO.
So let's get right into it, man. What we got first?
So our first subject is art, and with art, we're going to talk about the history of the one. Talking to George here. So we want to talk about Jordan ones, like I said, the history, and then see like what's made them so relevant, right? So the history is that in 1985, Pete Moore designed Michael Jordan's first shoe after he had been drafted by the Bulls. The Jordan ones didn't do so hot when they first came out. They were a pretty expensive shoe, and Michael Jordan didn't even like it. But where it really got his fame was that it was banned, but it wasn't actually the Air Jordan 1 that was banned, it was the Nike Air Ships that was banned.
Right.
But the colorway that he used to wear, the bread colorway, the black and red, it ended up, Michael Jordan would get fined every time he wore that colorway. So that also brought a lot of hype around it, and like, oh, these are so mystique, what's getting people so excited to wear these. So the bread ones came around, and then now, in today's culture, after the Jordan 11 used to be such a big shoe,
Right.
the bread one has came back, and just Air Jordan 1 in period has just came back, where they have whole new colorways, collabs have been happening, Travis Scott's, Off-Whites. So a couple questions I got is, what brought them back to being hype? And also, how we feel about mids and low cuts. So, you know, we got DINERO, who is a very wise man, knows the game very well, so he's going to give us some wisdom, man.
Shoe enthusiast, man. I'm a sneakerhead. But, to answer your question, hype beats everything you hear about them. Celebrities wearing a shoe, man, it'll jack a price up of a shoe so quick. And as early as I can remember, I think Kanye was a big movement as far as he was wearing the breads for some times courtside. He was wearing the royal ones, just to be seen in pictures. You know what I mean? And I think he brought a whole different demographic to the shoe game. And some people argue whether it's positive or negative influence, but it definitely brought a lot of attention. So, and I mean, as far as mids go, low ones, I don't have a problem with it. If you know, Michael Jordan never actually wore high ones. His cuts was always PE cuts, and there was always a mid cut. So everybody that get into it about mids not being cool, that's what the man was actually wearing. It's just about what's a retro, high OG colorway. And like I said, those colorways got popping, I would say, maybe when the Chicago ones came out 2013 again.
Mm-hmm.
And after that kind of went up because you've seen a lot of celebrities wearing them, a lot of influencers wearing them. And from there, it just became a wanted item. And plus, compared to a lot of other Jordans, man, ones are cheaper. So people that try to flip, people that try to double up, it's a bigger profit margin. So from there, the game gets dirty. You know what I mean?
So that's a huge surprise, because I didn't even know that Michael Jordan actually wore mids. I thought he wore high cut. You know, that reminds me of, do you remember when Shaq was with Reebok, he had his own signature shoes,
Right.
and either the Shaq Notes or the Shaq Attacks, they would be a certain cut. If you look at videos of Shaq back in the day, his was even a higher cut.
Yeah.
So I thought anything Michael Jordan wanted more ankle support. But yeah, that's dope. I mean, and he also did end up breaking his foot in the Air Jordan ones too. So
that's why he switched it to that mid cut. After that, it was always a mid cut. So a little history lesson there.
It's so weird hearing that, because obviously I haven't been in the game nearly as long as y'all two. And like when I first even started paying attention to shoes, it was like I loved the 11s because that's what was so popular at the time.
Y'all got stories about
Yes,
trying to cop those,
like
man.
especially
literally,
in Indianapolis.
like literally, that's like not that I started learning, you know, like it was a point where I didn't even know, like you would say the Jordan 6, I'm like, I couldn't even like tell you what it is. So as I got more into it, like I said, at the time it was the 11s that I really, that I wanted, that I was going after. And then recently, obviously this wasn't the reason for it, but like even when The Last Dance came out, the documentary just a little bit ago, even that added to the hype of the ones. Yeah. And so it's kind of crazy just seeing how everything, so what you talk about influencers, we think about the Travis Scott ones. Even the mochas that just came out, they kind of look like the Travis Scott ones, which I feel like even adds more hype to the shoes as a whole. So yeah, it's kind of weird seeing that flip.
Yeah, I think it's been in waves. Like, so I mean, there's always been the guys who first signed 85 who couldn't buy it because they was too young, and they finally got the time to buy it. Then when Kanye came, I thought they came back a little bit, but I think truly came back in like the 2017, 2018 time when Kanye transitioned to Adidas, and I feel like it put Nike in this place where like, dang, we have to find a way to compete. And I think like them seeing a celebrity hold so much weight, that made them say, okay, we need to find us a celebrity or do a class gonna hold weight. And that's where they got a Travis Scott. That's where they got a Virgil Abloh doing all those things. And they're doing it with ones because also ones is actually the most practical looking. Like, you know how sneakers, like a Converse is just like nice, clean, like very simple. I think the Air Jordan 1 is like the simplest, cleanest shoe out of all the Jordans. So that's what like made people want them. And then, you know, like, even though I feel like I'm a big OG guy on sneakers, and like if I want to get a different color shoe, I feel like I want to do something that's with the new school. So like if I want to do something green, I'll try to see like if there's like a Yeezy I like, but keep all my like black and red stuff just with the Jordans. But like there's some people who like that's their niche. So like when they got these new green ones and all that stuff that back in the day would have been blasphemous for you to be even putting green on any Jordan. It's now like it's cool. You know they got Jordan, like they got bread toes and all these things. So and it's crazy. Like when you see a bread toe in the same picture with a band 1, it's like But when you really see like the mids in the same picture as a bread, you're like, hey, bro. Hey,
times are changing.
Yeah.
It's a different time, different generation.
And like you said, it used to be way cheaper. Like it used to be like 160. I see that the metallic silvers, they're gonna come out next year for 200. Really? Yeah, they come out for 200.
They even jumping the price because I mean a normal one now is 170 for ones. I remember when they were down to 140.
Yeah.
So and at a certain point even 110, depending on if it was a retro or just a complimentary colorway. When a certain Jordan will come out, you will have a Jordan 1 come out the same colorway, the same sort of style.
That's what I was just about to talk about.
People, that was like if I couldn't get the actual Taxi 12s, let me get the Taxi 1s because they gotta like something. If I couldn't get the bread 13s, let me get these kind of knockoff ones. So it was a time where ones wasn't even popular. If you was wearing them, people was like, you couldn't get the real retros.
They wasn't popular because, like, again, I think Jordan did the ones in service because they knew how great the shoe was, so they started putting them on everything. So, like you said, like, if you didn't get these, like, I remember the Squadron Blue 13s one time, and they made a Squadron Blue 1. It was just like, it was just so terrible. Like, they'll make the wings like that hologram, all that stuff like that. So, I think Jordan really knew what was going on. They finally took a step back from that. Just the same way they had to do with the 3s. And I know, just like we said too, I bet you soon they'll do the same thing with the 1s where they're going to cut 1s production for a long time so the hype can stay.
Do y'all see like how y'all like obviously like the price of the 1s have been lower when they were less popular? Do y'all see that happening to other Jordans with the popularity of the 1 getting so high?
No, I don't. I think that, I mean, since I've been in, like, it's always been around that 190 range, and it only stays or it goes up when you put OG branding on there. So, like, put Nike Air on the back. Like, I don't know how much the Fire Red 40 went out for. I think probably 220. But, like,
retail price.
Yeah, as long as you make them look as original as possible, the price is gonna stay up. And I mean, it's just a smart thing to do because, like, if there's already people are buying for resale value, that means they're already paying more than what that retail is. Nike might as well get their money from the.
I think just with the economy, man, it's gonna rise because the 1s are cheap to make. All these Jordans are really cheap to make, but from my experience, I've been working at a Foot Locker for some years. I just recently got out of it. I missed that discount, but
we missed that discount.
But no, a lot of them, it's like a gradual jump. So like a lot of shoes used to come out for 190. Now you're seeing that it'll jump to 225 if it's a special edition, if it's an OG. But then when it comes back down, retro will be 200, and it's rising. You got Jordan 1s coming out for $200 now, and it'll go back down. And it was at 170. Now it's gonna be like 180, 185. But profit margin once again for the resellers out there, selling these shoes for 300, 400, 500. Travis Scott's is doing numbers in the thousands.
Yeah.
So Nike ain't tripping about that extra $10, $20. It's going up. It's definitely going up.
So, yeah. Well, that was a lot for that subject. So we're gonna move on to the next subject, which is music. All right. So I think like last week, a couple weeks ago, we had the Verzuz that we've all been waiting for. It was Jeezy versus Gucci. Had over 1.6 million viewers watching on via Instagram Live.
Mm-hmm.
It was more views than like a lot of like sporting events, the American Music Awards. So it was pretty dope how that happened. For the most part, there was a lot of dissing going on. You know,
It's all
people
dissing.
talking, all dissing. But at the end of the day, they had to play some music, do some things. So my question is, who do y'all think won? And you know, for the younger generation who may not know Jeezy, we got another OG Nero's gonna push y'all onto some old school rap. Not old school rap, but just.
It's crazy. We in 2020. Jeezy is considered old school rap, yo.
I didn't even say old school. And I'm gonna be honest, like
Got a whole album.
I remember Jeezy, like,
What do
but
you
I don't
remember
remember like what is that Drew Lock from the Broncos? I put it on,
Yeah,
bro. You
yeah,
know what I
okay,
mean? Like him. Like I remember like his bangers, but like listen
What
to
was
the
a banger
album.
to you though? Like I ain't, I'm trying
Like,
to see where your mind
I
at.
put on for my city. Dang. I know. So like, dude, so it's funny because they love Jeezy because like All There.
Shout out to
I would never heard the song All There unless it was up to y'all. Like when y'all play that song, I'm like, bro, like who wants to listen to this?
So we transition into music from sneaker culture, and you brought up the 11s, and the reason the 11s I think got so big outside of Bread Edition, the Cool Grades, which should be coming back, and a lot of people gonna be going for those. A lot of it is tied in with music culture. So LeBron had a Sprite deal. With that Sprite deal, he had a commercial, he had a movie come out, and the song, like the title track for that not album but movie, was Forever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
In that song, hello, it's the Martian, Space Jam Jordans. Everybody went after the Space Jams, crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So you influence culture a lot. We could talk about just Wiz Khalifa and the way that Levi's went from $20 to about $80 right now from 501s.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking about Jeezy,
Super Freak, I got another song.
Super Freak. That's crazy. Speaking about shoe culture and hip hop culture, I went from old school Chevys to drop top Porsches. You couldn't walk a mile off in my Air Forces.
Yeah, I got that one too.
Everything's tied together. So even history that you don't know, like a lot of the things that we wear now, a lot of the things that we covet, it goes back and forth between sneaker culture and hip hop culture. So Jeezy was a big movement. When I was in middle school, some of y'all would know that if you had a snowman t-shirt on, you were suspended. You couldn't wear that. It was considered gang culture. It was he was a big representation of a very big movement. BMF, if you're not aware, that 50 Cent is shooting the whole video, and I think a series is coming out about that. So it'll be something that people will be more in tune with. But he was kind of a spokesperson for that movement, for that area, and his music represented that. It represented street culture to the utmost. But to hear him talk about his old school rap is nuts.
Yeah, I didn't mean even say old school because
Nuts.
I just mean.
It's old.
I just think the reason why
I respect it.
like Gucci just has stayed more relevant. I think like even culturally wise, like I forget what did Jeezy have on right at Verzuz? Like he had on like he looked like he was in the 2000s when he was rocking, but you see like Gucci like had like on design.
He also
He
did that
fitted
on.
in. You know what I'm saying?
He did it on purpose though.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that's the thing because like since he is still in tune with the culture, that's gonna keep people going. Then you got people like Mulatto who's like saying her biggest like her Gucci's her biggest fan or she's her biggest fan of Gucci, so like she's inspired by her, so like that keeps him relevant. I think Gucci says on features and stuff like that more
He's
than
definitely more
Jeezy's been.
mainstream.
So he's more mainstream, like especially at this time in the age. So like,
Say Gucci's more mainstream?
yeah.
Especially today.
Yeah.
I would say today.
You would
yeah.
see like you see him like on Migos album and like that hit the radio. I'm not saying he's a mainstream artist, but like he's got some mainstream stuff. So like, yeah. You just know like there's a certain demographic that I bet you definitely know Gucci, but don't know nothing about Jeezy. So they're like, why's everybody so excited to hear about this other guy? You know what I mean? But they want to hear Gucci. You
That's
feel
because
me?
you know, and a lot of the younger generation didn't know about the beef.
Yeah.
And just how deep it really went when you talk about going for somebody's life and I mean essentially like killing people.
Yeah.
That's
not essentially. It's
That's
just
right.
really what went down.
People trying to see if Instagram Live is gonna have live.
So, I don't know. I think just Jeezy did an interview with GQ, and in it talking about it, he was talking about how like you could feel the tension. Everybody in that room,
I would
when he
think
was live,
so.
like the tension was it was very very thick,
Yeah.
and he said it really didn't go away until they did So Icy together at the end, right at the very end. And he was even talking about how like the mentality of because I feel like Gucci obviously I think he threw more shots at Jeezy than Jeezy did to Gucci.
Rightfully so.
And and like
There was some shots thrown at Gucci in real life. You feel me?
No, for real.
Really.
And so just the fact that they were and Jeezy was kind of talking about he was trying to look at it differently. Now I was just in an interview, so you're not finna talk about
Yeah, what's going on?
what I feel like he's gonna be. He's gonna know what to say in an interview. But he was talking about he was trying to look at it as it's not about those two. It's about rap as a whole, about black people as a whole in terms of how we shouldn't be, trying to kill each other. He would say things like it's about King Von, it's about Nipsey. That's what he was saying in the GQ interview. So I don't know. I wasn't expecting that perspective from him. So when I did a little research, it was.
I think I can speak on it, quote unquote, living through it. It's funny that you said that Jeezy isn't like mainstream. I know he was definitely more of a pushed artist, a label artist. He was signed to Def Jam. I know he's done some deals with Atlantic. He's even had executive positions with those labels. So like I was saying, he was a representative of a movement. He was gassed up to be that. Not to say, Jeezy, you're not real, you're not from the streets, and he make great music, you know what I mean? But he was definitely more so the pushed artist. And Gucci was more so an independent person, definitely from the streets, you ain't even gotta ask. And that beef started from, you from the streets, you hide in Atlanta, you got this guy that's signed in Atlanta that's big right now, because this is before social media and things was very local. Put me on, help me out. And I don't know necessarily, I don't want to say that Gucci was asking for that feature on So Icy, but it was something that the labels put together, something that Jeezy didn't necessarily want to do. So when that came out, in the street, somebody say they don't want to mess with you, that's, it goes a different way. And words were exchanged, a lot of things were said, and it ended up with somebody losing their life. Yeah. And me personally, it's hard for me to take Jeezy in a way where you could say, oh, he's trying to be the bigger man, and it's about this artist or this artist that's passed, when allegedly you may have put things in motion for someone else to be gone. Yeah. Because actions that were taken, we wouldn't even have his verses, we wouldn't even have Gucci here to speak today. And he's been so influential with everyone from the Migos to a Little Baby to a Young Thug to a Mulatto, where the same way I was talking about Air Forces, how that's a big part of sneaker culture and hip hop culture itself, that Jeezy definitely influenced as well as Nelly, but whole nother subject there. It's like Gucci did a lot for music, for independent artists, and for Atlanta itself, and that's why you see, even with the new 1017 and just newer artists paying a lot of homage to him, because he ain't never been one to shy away from saying, hey man, get on the song with me, I'm gonna give you a record deal. I know with the new 1017 that he gave everybody iced out APs and $1 million and said, make some music. So I think he learned ultimately from his dealings with Jeezy and everyone else, like how to treat up and coming artists, and it shows today with him just being, he got songs with anybody you could think of, like you said in the verses. Play something current, man. I got current hits. Yeah, he's still relevant to this day, and there's people paying homage to him. And not to say that Jeezy hasn't. Yeah. He just he went a different route with it, and that's respectable. But Gucci won that. Gucci won in life, and Gucci won musically to me. But that's my spill,
Yeah, a lot of people say Jeezy won, but a lot of people say
Jeezy got hits.
Yeah,
he got hits. But Gucci got the culture.
Yeah, exactly. I know it's gonna go on, but I think if you had to say, for history, like they say that the West Coast, the East Coast, like has rap game. I think Atlanta is like where rap is now. Like,
for sure.
Yeah, like, and it's surprising. I remember someone said that a couple years ago. I'm like, nah. When you see like who's on top right now, you look at who's not making music. I mean, because I'm a Kendrick stan, so he's not even making music right now. But then, like you said, the Little Babies, the Gucci's, Migos, especially when they was hot a couple years ago, like they are really just Atlanta's like really running.
They hustling, man. They grinding. They keep being consistent.
Yes, sir. So that's the end of that, and we're gonna get to our next subject, which is chemistry. So, Big Boy Nero, over here, we young bulls, we don't have any relationships, we're in right now, we're still trying to figure out ourselves, but this guy, I think he's got the keys. We're trying to find out, what is it? How do you know? How do you know when you find one?
And first, I want to say I know y'all both are single, but I just want to say I'm proud of y'all for the product y'all putting out, man. Just chasing y'all dreams, whatever y'all want to do. I always said that I will support y'all, and I'm just happy to be here today to just see this through, man. It's cool. It's real cool, but knowing somebody is the one, of course, I think it'll be different for everyone, but for me, it's just being accepted for who you are, knowing who you are, knowing that that person cares about you in that manner. Like, Bryce, you're a successful young man. Namdi, you're a successful young man. And finding somebody that loves you, cares about you, not the idea of you, not the social media person that you are, not what you could be or anything else, but like, not me when I'm dressed up, chains on, everything else. Like, when I'm laid up in the house under the blanket, like the Spider-Man meme, do you still care about me, And somebody that helps you grow. And it doesn't have to be financially or emotionally or anything of that nature, but someone that when you're around them, things come out of it, you know what I mean? We all alphas, man, we come together, and no matter what we're doing, we kind of build off of one another. And to find that in a person, I think is special, and it's something that everybody should search for, man, because I could say my girl Amber has made me a better man in ways that I didn't know was possible. I do things now that I didn't think was possible, it's just, but it comes naturally because it's not forced. It's not her asking me to do this and that and the third. It's like, I want to do that for a person. In the same way, y'all my Neos, man, like, it's stuff that I do for these guys that I wouldn't necessarily do for the next person without asking, man, because it's real love there, it's real care. And finding that with the person, sharing that, and building from that is a beautiful thing, man. And I'm here today to say, I'm booed up, I'm wifed up, and it's lovely, man. So as much as people try to knock that, because I think right now with social media, everything's so personalized, you know what I'm saying? You want to find somebody that just, quote unquote, accepts you for, here I am as a person, I'm this, I'm that, and just take me as I am. But if you're not willing to grow, I don't think you'll really have success in anything. And if you're not willing to grow with a person, you're not going to have a successful relationship. So as much as it is to be single, mingle, chill, party, whatever you want to say, I'm here to say it's cool to be in a relationship. It's cool to grow with somebody. And it's something that you should not necessarily be thirsty, sliding up on things, sliding in DMs, searching for. Let that love, let that genuineness just come to you, man. It's a beautiful thing.
With that,
Sure.
So with that, you talk about how you were able to grow in ways that you didn't even think possible.
For sure.
I know that didn't come easy. That's not how growth is, right? People don't say growth and comfort can't exist in the same room. It just can't. Sure. So like, I know we've all had our times of heated debate, but we grew out of that. So like, how did that growth look? As like, did you realize you were growing? Like, how do you feel as you kind of maybe were being challenged by her, as you challenged her? What did that growth feel like as it was happening?
Questions in my head. So, if there was ever an argument, a disagreement, or if there was ever a misunderstanding or something I didn't get, I asked myself, like, why am I doing this? Like, why are we arguing right now? Or why am I out here driving to go here, do this, that, and the third? And like, the simple answer is like, I love her. Certain things you just don't do if it's not love there. Like, I know things are romanticized now, where it's like, love is just genuine, it's easy, it just comes. But love is when I'm at my worst and you at your worst and we go at it, we could still come back to each other because it's a bond there, it's genuine love. You fall out with a stranger, they a stranger. Yeah. It's over, it's nothing to really build off of. But when you have an actual bond, or something that you could never have with someone else, you can understand what it is. So that growth was like, it could be anything from washing dishes to taking out the trash or whatever it may be, or just being represented in the right way. Like, you my girl, you know how I'm coming, you know how I'm dressed, you know how I'm showing up, and I'm like, I want to be represented in that way. I want to make sure I represent you in that way that you feel is respectable, and really listening and learning from somebody. Like, you could tell me how to do something, but I might not do it to detail that you wanted. But if I can really listen to you, ask the questions that I need to know to make sure I'm doing what you need me to in the right way, I think that shows care. It's so many different love languages to show care, and taking the time to really do it. Not do it to shut somebody up, not doing it to say you did it, but doing it so that that person can be happy and satisfied, I think shows a lot of growth. And it doesn't come easy, you know, but when you love somebody, it's worth it. Nothing comes easy that's really worth it. This podcast doesn't come easy, but you put in the work, you put in the time. So anything you really invest in, you go 100% in, above 100% in, is worth it to you. And that's something I think people should do in relationships. Not fold when it gets hard and not run from it. Just work.
Yeah, that's my mama's favorite thing to say. Like, nothing good comes easy.
Not at all.
I think it's too, like, you know, as you said, like, we're in the early stages, so we learn this, we getting better every day. But I mean, also, I think in a more platonic level, because, you know, like us, you know, we supposed to celebrate Father's Day. This is our profile ADP, and like there were days, you know, where we woo.
Weeks.
There was, oh man,
Months.
hey, the cameraman in the back is again, he's shaking his head right now. He's acting fool.
Extended period.
We were not fans of y'all.
Yeah, even that, or like,
we were not fans of either.
it's not even like that, but it's just like they had to be patient with us, and like if we didn't have letters or anything, I mean, shoot, I can just stop being your friend, or we can stop being cool, but because we were on the same bond, we had to get mad at each other, or, you know, get tired of each other, so at times like this you can be proud and be like, man, hey, you know, finally did it. Like, even when like, hey, why are you on us like this? You know what I mean? Especially like when we feel like they was top dog. You know, you trying to, like, you know, show
who's top dog?
Like, oh man, hey, we can put all the awards.
Shout them out.
We can put all the
Shout them out.
We can put all the awards and all the clips. You know, with
accolades speak for
all the
themselves.
accolades. You know,
look that up in the history books.
We'll have that. We'll have that in the credits. But I mean, it's dope. Like, you know, just to grow up. You know, and that's why brotherhood doesn't mean like, hey, we're gonna be cool every time. I mean, there's many times where we've had differences, and we don't really argue too much. Like, we have differences, things that we hold. But it's just like always just pushing towards, you know, getting better, wanting to be better men for each other and for ourselves. So, yeah, that's great, man. We're going to take that advice. I'm going to watch this a couple times, you know, so when the time comes, you know.
Take your notes on it.
Take my notes, relation goals. Probably do another one in February, you know, talk more about it.
Maybe. You never know what can happen.
Yeah, so, all good. Yeah, we're going to get to our favorite subject. Let me not fall from this chair. Which is attention.
It actually might fit on his head. He's kind of small.
Oh, definitely can fit on his
Might
head,
fit on
bro.
His head's swole now, man. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. And embrace it. And the thing is, I know we haven't said the name yet, but I think that when, like, think about it, when Travis Scott, like, when he, like, or like any rapper with braids, when they get excited, I think what makes it so cool is that they hear like bounces and stuff like that. When he got hit, them things,
everything was stiff.
Yeah.
To be fair, bro, this off topic. When you have dreads, you don't have to know how to dance. You just gotta know how to dance.
Man, yeah.
When you got long hair, you don't have to know how to dance, bro. That's all you gotta be able to do. And you just gonna look like
no dance moves, just vibes.
Just vibes.
That's it.
Yeah.
But,
so with that said, this weekend we had a 3-time slam dunk champion.
Nate, accolades,
yeah, we're gonna build him up.
Love first.
He had some great NBA time. I remember when he played with Chicago Bulls. He had like really good playoffs.
He's giving LeBron fits.
You know, yeah, fits.
He got himself off, blocked himself off the back.
Yes. Oh, even blocked y'all mean one time.
Yep, sure did.
But what he could not block
was that right hook.
Was that right hook.
Boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about Nate Robinson. Nate the Great. He this weekend he fought against Jake Paul. Before that, Nate Robinson had a lot to say, man. He said he was fighting for. He was representing the culture, the hood, the NBA.
I don't know what he was representing.
I don't know. I was watching it, then I fell asleep.
So
I
both fell asleep around the same time.
It's just crazy because like the first clip I saw of it was just a knockout. So, you know, I'm calling my brother. I'm like, bro, because I know he watched it. I'm like, bro, what the heck? He's like, bro, did you even watch the 30 seconds before that? So I was like, bro, no. So he had the knockdown first, you know, the knockdown, and the referee grabbed him. He said, hey, man, you know, defend yourself. 15 minutes
I'm
later.
trying.
Yeah, bro. So, I mean, I just think that, you know, a lot of us, and, you know, rest in great Kobe Bryant, because that's my favorite player of all time. There's a lot of us who try to, you know, we think we're good at this thing, and we try to go into another thing. We talk about Michael Jordan, too. So, Michael Jordan with basketball, Michael Jordan with baseball. Definitely not basketball, we know what the greatest is.
LeBron James. Check out the last episode.
Singing wise, you know, Kobe tried to rap. There's a lot of people try to rap. You know, Dame Williams, I don't know. I never really listened to him.
Dame can rap. Kobe had some songs. Shaq got the most out of rapping.
Yeah.
I just want to put that out there.
So there's some people who can do things, but I mean, for you to try to get into the ring, man.
And it's like, I'm not gonna say he's in detention because he got knocked out. When you get in the ring, that might happen. But when you talk the way you talk, tweet the way you tweet, and try to say I'm doing this for this, and that, and then you go in there and get knocked out first round?
No, second round.
Second round.
I haven't even seen the first round because, like, if he only got 8 touches on the first round, was he? Total. Was he playing with him in the first? Was he trying to make him feel good? Because that's what I feel like happened. Because, like, it didn't take long before he knocked him out. So, or maybe he just came out swinging crazy or something.
He didn't learn how. He was offensive. On the offensive the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
Wasn't protecting anything. Like anybody could have got him.
So what I'm pretty thinking is probably Jay Paul and their crew. They got the playbook on the first. Oh, he not even checking. So it's like, but when he bring that,
it's gotta time it.
Yeah, just time it.
Definitely gotta time it. He had no sort of defense or stance or anything. No. He had a left jab, and he would just.
He was fighting. He wasn't boxing.
He was fighting. He was not boxing, and you can't play boxing. You know, we could go out to the court and hoop right now. We could go kick a soccer ball, but you don't play boxing.
Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that. You know better. He thinks he can beat me at basketball. He can.
Hey, March. Let's see.
I may have some footage of him.
No, you. Hey. I might have it too.
We just looked at some footage the other day about me doing you dirty. That wasn't even on the real court.
I know.
I cook you anywhere.
But you know, it's been a lot of time.
That's the real Verzuz right there.
Anyway, that's a real Verzuz right there. But I mean, back to Nate, man. It's just like, you know, you just gotta know your lane, bro. You gotta know your lane.
And stay in it, please.
Yeah,
he wasn't even supposed to be here. We had another detention ready.
Oh,
but then when you do stuff like that,
we had another detention, but this one was just too good.
Once the swelling goes down, Nate, we got this for you.
Yeah, damn.
If he remembered what day it is.
Bro, he was asleep. Like, he didn't move.
Yeah.
He wasn't moving.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. That's all we got. Stay in your lane. So, with that concludes episode 7. We want to once again thank Mr. Damari Sykes for coming in today.
Do what I can.
Yes, sir. And we thank you for tuning in, watching. You know, we're going to keep on growing. With that said, make sure you like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about it, you know. We got more coming up.
Send your favorite alpha, $19.06.
Yeah, that's definitely. We will put the cash app below.
Brother starving.
You really starving. But yep, that's it for this one, and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace. Hey y'all, it's your boy DINERO. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Maybe see you next time.